I did all the research growing up. I mean, just when I was 16, I had already saved probably 2,000 photos of Supras of what I wanted to do, because I had all these ideas thinking, this is what I'm going to do, or I'm going to try this on the car. I want that interior, or I want that front mount. Well, this exhaust I know works. I had done all this research and looked up every little bit about the car, all the racing they did back in Japan. It's a 95 non-turbo car. I actually bought it bone stock. There was nothing done to the car except the world's ugliest chrome wheels. Some of the downsides with the car were the fact that it had hail damage. The interior had cigarette burns. The front bumper had 6 different drill marks in it from, I guess, I don't know how many license plate holders. The rear bumper was cracked. So for most people, they probably saw the car and thought, what a piece of junk. And in my eyes, I saw something that could be. So I finally made the decision this past winter that I was going to swap the car. I'm going to finally man up. I'm going to finish this car and do it right. Found an engine, actually in New Jersey, and I put it up on the engine stand and just looked at everything going, all right, what's this, what's that? Because I literally had never worked on a car. And what I mean, I've never worked on a car, the most modifications I've ever done before to my Celica was an intake. So I was going from modifying a car and putting an intake on it to doing a full-blown engine swap. And it was not easy. I mean, I was very fortunate that I had friends that were just like, dude, I'll help you with whatever you need. They would come over anytime. If I was having a hard time, they'd go, don't worry about it, we'll help you with it. And they would walk through it with me. I was very fortunate to have such close friends close by. And Austin, Kyle, Zach, Matt, all these guys, as soon as I said anything, they were over in a minute. So I feel very lucky for that aspect. When it was at the local shop, it made 411 wheel horsepower at, I think it was 11 or 12 PSI. We maxed out the JDM 440cc injectors. I need to go to a bigger fuel system. That's one of my biggest holdbacks right now. I'm hoping for more power down the road, get a better fuel system, get it retuned, and maybe shoot for 650. I'm not looking for big power numbers. I don't want this to be another 1,000 horsepower Supra. I want to be able to drive the car. I want it to turn on every day. I want, if I had my mom drive the car, she can understand the car and it drives like a normal vehicle. I don't want to go overboard, as I put it.
So this car is a fairly old car, I mean 1995, but the interior still feels very new. And it doesn't have a new design to it, but everything is just mint. It just looks like it rolled right off the floor, as if I'm in 1995 right now.
I would say even to a greater degree of any car I've ever ridden in, this car is most set up like a jet fighter. Like the driver, I get nothing. I get absolutely nothing over here. And here you have this technological pod that you're kind of like cocooned into. It's a womb.
Yeah. And for a car that has coilovers, I just went over a couple potholes and we really didn't even notice it.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad.
A JDM non-VVTi super motor is in the car. So it still has the stock oil squirters, stock pistons, stock rods, stock valve covers, all that good stuff. I haven't messed with any of it yet. For manifold wise, it has a JDL manifold on it. It has a BorgWarner S366. Right now I'm running a stock intake manifold, but it does have a 4-inch intercooler and a tile blow-off valve. And I'm also running a tile wastegate on the car. The exhaust wise, the car has a custom downpipe and midpipe to an HKS Carbon TI exhaust. Rear end is stock, is an open diff. Cringe to even say that right now, and it does have the stock W58 transmission in it, which any Supra also would know that is junk, and I can't make much power on it, unfortunately. We just found out that Toyota has discontinued the B160, which is the 6-speed transmission that comes in all the turbo models. With that being discontinued, the guys are running BMW transes now, or the 350Z CD009 trans. So that might be an option, but we're still trying to weigh out what path I want to go to. It has more suspension parts than probably I should have because it never gets utilized, but it's fun to drive in the backwards when I do get that time.
Nothing happened. Don't know if that's something tuned wrong. That was flat out.
Seriously?
Yeah. I'll try it again. Maybe it's just this hasn't spooled yet.
Oh, that's not good.
That's tune related.
Yeah.
Alright, that's fine. I don't want to hurt it. Okay, so here we are in a 1995 Toyota Supra with 400 horsepower, big single turbo, and I have no boost.
So it's on new maps. I'm guessing either the ECU hasn't learned the new maps yet, or the maps are somehow conflicting with the failsafe Infinity, and it doesn't want to let us boost. But
this just kind of goes to show that you don't need the horsepower. I'm still having a ton of fun.
Right.
It's handling great. It's getting a lot of attention. It's comfortable. Who needs horsepower?
And furthermore, this goes with big turbo Supra ownership. Stuff breaks. Stuff doesn't work. The more you mod the car, the more problems you're going to have with it. And this is a lightly modded Supra. It's only making 400 horsepower.
And he modded it with all good parts.
Right.
There's not an eBay part on this car.
Yeah, excellent parts, custom fabrication, a very good tuner, and you know, stuff still happens. And this isn't, you know, the car's not being harmed or anything. It's just sometimes it doesn't work.
That's still a very probable outcome with your car, is it might break, you know? But that's something that he enjoys, something that I enjoy. It's not boring. It's not just getting in it and go, and it's not just throwing a bunch of money at a car that has a lot of horsepower and going with it. It's an experience, not just driving it, but working on it. And I'm going to kill a man on a bicycle.
If I'm frustrated, I'll come home from work, and instead of going to the bar or instead of getting mad, I'll come out and wrench on the car, and I'll feel so much better. Like it's my happy place. It's the one thing, no matter what I do, I never get mad at, or I try not to get mad at, because at the end of the day, this is my favorite thing to work on at all times. That I enjoy more time wrenching on the vehicle than I do driving it 9 times out of 10. It's just the experience and learning so much. It's the one thing in life that I feel no one can ever take away from me, is the knowledge that I've learned with the vehicle. You can take the car away, you can take everything I have, but you can't take that knowledge and experience that I've learned with this vehicle.
So I've always thought of the Supra as the Japanese muscle car. It was big for its time, it was heavy for its time, big straight 6 engine in it. And so that kind of gave me the impression that this was a drag car and it's made to go in a straight line. But that is not the case. This handles amazingly.
If the turbo was working, we'd be having a ton of fun. But I mean, this is really highlighting the chassis and the handling characteristics of the car. And I know Ryan's going to be upset that it wasn't boosting, but Ryan, we're still having a great time.
We really are.
So I remember being 15, 16 years old, always wanted to look at the cars, maybe sit in one, take a just gander at one. And every time I talk to somebody, I'm like, no, can you just stay away from the car? Like, I can't take you for a ride, or I don't want you sitting in it. Now looking back at it, I'm like, I don't understand what the big deal was. So anytime someone asks me, want to look at the car, take a picture, want to sit in it, want to drive in it, 9 times out of 10, I won't say no, just because I don't want to rob anyone of that experience. I would do pretty much anything if someone says like, hey, I want to ride in a car, go for a ride.
So we got boost somehow.
It's like the car was teaching us a lesson, like learn how it handles first and then we'll give you boost. Oh yeah. Okay, I like that.